What is your will, my master?
Hey, what's up, Jason? Quick demo video for you for your Korbanth TFU2. You had this weathered by Austin. Came to me in the mail today, and I was actually prepared and waiting for this, so I got this done today as well. And the only thing I needed to wire up when this came was the switches. I had everything else wired because my chassis for this particular saber is an all-in-one chassis. So you've got CC sabers in here for your main PCB. This glass eye was made by Robert Sotomayor, my buddy over at Sorox Sabers. So I have a single pixel right behind this guy that will mimic your blade. It will mimic your blade color and your blade effects. Anything your blade does, the pixel back here will do. And since this is clear, this shines through exactly, the same color as it should. 2-button setup. So your front switch here is your activation. Your back switch is your auxiliary. I had mentioned to you over a text that you were missing the switch PCB for the saber. I had one left over, and so I used it on here. When this saber first came out, some of the people that were sending them to me had them, and some didn't. So I had contacted Korbanth because they were all supposed to come with one, and he sent me like 5 or 6. I used all but one, and then had one sitting around for the longest time. And luckily I had it, so I used it for this guy. It's basically just a single PCB, and it's got these 2 tactile switches under it, or on it, and you wire that up, and that's your switch. But anyway, to get to everything, what you want to do is just unscrew the handle. This handle has a few threads. I give this saber crap every time I do it, just for the number of threads. I mean, there's quite a few. So, but anyway, that's all right. You get your handle off. Something you'll never have to do, but I'm going to do it one time to show you, is take the pommel off here. And you've got a speaker pod in here that will test. It has a 28mm Smugglers Outpost Elite speaker in it, and that never comes out. And that just stays right there on your pommel. But when you take your handle off, here's your chassis, right? So it says, what does it say here? It says the Force Unleashed right here in Arabic. And then it says Solo Sabers over here for me in Arabic. And then just a few greeblies. It does have removable battery setup. So spring side right here is your negative. You have, these are your 2 speaker pogo pins that make connection with your speaker pod I just showed you. So you'll get sound. And then your Proffie board right here. So this is a tight snap fit down into the shelf. But from right here in the back, you have access to your micro USB and your SD card. So you never have to move this board. Okay, and that's how we do that. So let's throw a battery in this guy. Now, of course, when we put this in, we're not going to hear anything because we don't have the speaker on. So we can just slide this right on and screw it down. And everything goes in exactly like it should. Now this has the stock font configuration on it, but I did put a copy of the config file that I used on your SD card because I added motion controls. So you got that locked down. See, you've got a red blade here. Your LEDs are firing up red, and then you've got red coming through your shine through as well. This thing is super loud. You can twist off, or you can come over here and hit activation. And then back here is auxiliary. And then tap it again and turn it off. So you got a couple different options there, and then depending on what sound fonts you add and what kind of config you want to put on here, you can do all kinds of stuff. This takes a 1-inch diameter NeoPixel blade. My PCB holder is part of my chassis. Remember me telling you it's all in one. So I make the pins to that PCB. They're poking up into the blade socket, but they're the only things that are coming up. So you get the maximum amount of blade depth that you can on this saber. And we just want to lock it down with your blade retention screw real quick. This saber has its own Allen key right here, so this will be going back to you. So you got flash on clash because you've got battle mode. So if you hit the blade or the saber, it's easier to hit the saber. You get blade lockup, and you'll see that blade lockup in your shine through. And it'll stay like that until you pull away from it. You go to another sound font. You got like a blue unstable, and then you'll see that, of course, in your shine through too, right? But the saber is super solid. Now we're going to take this blade out and we will test the speaker pod. It's a little something I like to do, although I forgot to do it last night on the mom saber that I did. But just so you know, when we test it, you can see that the speaker does not lose connection. All solid right there, right? So yeah, speaker's doing exactly like it should. Take the battery out, super simple. We'll just take the handle off again. And then you want to come from the positive side of your speaker. Now, over time, you might be able to do it with your finger. I don't know if I'll be able to do it right now. It was tight earlier. But the positive side is over here by your switches. Try to get it out with your finger. Oh yeah, you can if you try hard. So you can pop it out with your finger just like that. And then we just put the handle back for safekeeping. And that is basically your TFU2. So let me know if you got any questions. And if not, this guy will go out. Well, it's Friday today. I'll try to make it to the post office. It may go out Monday because my post office only has a drop-off service on Saturdays. And I like to actually hand these sabers to somebody when I drop them off. All right, thanks.